This is not your typical Fable retrospective. I'm what you could call a Fable connoisseur of sorts. A lemon, if you will.
Are you just gonna stand there like a lemon?
Not only do I have both versions on Steam, I also have the Lost Chapters in the big PC box, Fable 2, Fable Anniversary on the 360, I even have the Fable bonus DVD. Why? Because it looks rad and my thirst for this game can never be quenched.
It'll quench ya.
I can't consider my time in the world of Albion complete unless I properly leave my mark behind with the Fable community with a video like this one. Now that we've established Fable is one of the most games of all time, what exactly do I plan to accomplish with this playthrough / retrospective? Considering my experience, I think it would only be fair to go for full completion. I want to complete as many aspects of the game as possible while ragging on some of the jank and the storyline in the most endearing way. I do enjoy the Lost Chapters the most out of all the versions that are out there, but the problem with the Lost Chapters is there's no achievements, and it lacks a difficulty selector the Anniversary Edition for the PC includes. Personally, I've never experienced this new difficulty myself, so I think playing on this mode will make the playthrough a bit more interesting. When you choose to start a new game, it gives you the option between two difficulties. Chicken Chaser, which would be your standard classic difficulty, and Heroic mode. This new Heroic mode is a higher difficulty that buffs enemies, offers less potions in shops and throughout the world, and does not allow for the use of resurrection files. I will also be completing every side quest, marrying as many wenches as possible, opening every demon door, getting every legendary weapon, get all the silver keys, hero dolls, and there's a whole lot more. There will be no gold exploits used in this run. That means, sadly, I won't be able to commit fraud with the local traders disguising 7,000 apples as precious gems, or buying out a trader's stock of an expensive item and using the power of intimidation and manifestation.
Because I can manifest!
To cook him into buying it back for a large profit. Every time I enter a new area, I must clear out all the enemies there to be able to skip past them and a revisit to that region. Without further ado, this is the Ultimate Fable Completionist Retrospective.
Deep in the forest of Albion lay the small town of Oakvale, unchanged by time and untouched by the sword.
Our adventure begins the same as any other, with our bug-eyed, big-footed hero child loading into Oakvale with the Guildmaster, the OG of ASMR, muttering sweet delights of our town's backstory. Just as I've done many times before, I have to deal with the mental anguish of my father scolding me for being a 10-year-old boy living in serfdom with no income, expecting me to be able to afford a present for my older sister. Like, seriously, dude? Not to mention, there's zero evidence that he himself even got her a present.
And stay out of trouble.
Our dad wants us to complete good deeds to earn gold, which we can use towards buying our sister that present. But we're not here to be the sweet little angel of Oakvale. We're here to min-max this economy. Baldy here offers us a bribe to keep quiet about his adultery. But me, an intellectual, sees an opportunity to double our income. We take the bribe and throw him under the bus anyway.
You have, thank you, young sir, for telling me.
He even alluded that this might actually be the best choice.
Look after yourself. Forget everyone else.
Next, we're off to the town bully. You'll notice I'm rolling around a lot. This is a common strategy used by speedrunners since rolling is slightly faster than running, so you know I'm an MLG Fable player. I take one look at this kid and open up the conversation with violence. He was trying to steal a little girl's teddy bear, which we're now entrusted with. I gladly accept it and return the bear to its rightful owner.
You found Rosie. Thank you so much.
Now that we have our third good deed, my dad needs to uphold his end of the bargain. He's a little disappointed since we took the bribe from Baldy, but I don't even see how that's physically possible. So I discounted his disappointment and chose to believe that in his imminent upcoming demise, he has nothing but pride for his son. Now that we have the required 3 gold to get chocolates for our big sis, we finally have a present for her. There is another possible good deed for us to complete, and I kind of feel guilty in retrospect for not doing it since I'm supposed to complete every side quest. But honestly, it's a lot of standing around like a lemon.
Are you just gonna stand there like a lemon?
The town guard tries to finesse us on our way to Teresa to give her her gift, but our MLG rolling leaves him in the dust.
I knew you were going to bring me chocolates. It's just like my dream.
This is just so wholesome, and I'm sure nothing is going to go wrong.
Bandits!
Did they seriously just murder my favorite character in the entire game? Well, my village just got totally ransacked, and the whole time they were looking for me? Wow, this is extremely tragic, and I can feel the burning sensation of vengeance coursing through my veins. Well, that's definitely my dead father on the ground right there. So, this dude was hiding in an alley the whole time and waited till the very last second to kill this one guy, but couldn't save my dad.
Okay.
Also, this is a secretive raid on Oakvale orchestrated by an exclusive bandit gang, and you happen to be here while the corpses are still warm? Tell me again why I'm agreeing to come with you.
I have a new student for you. Put him in the dorm upstairs with the girl.
Maze introduces us to our new home for the next few years, the Heroes Guild. This is more or less more tutorials for us to complete, but it does ground us in the setting and really establishes our place in this world, which I do appreciate a lot. It doesn't drag all that much anyways if you know what you're doing. It's a bit early in the game, but we are introduced to the story's main villain. This is Whisper, an ironic name since she's anything but meek like her name suggests. She is quite boisterous in letting us know how much better she is than us, how poor we are, and how we'll never amount to much. I know. The pacing in this game's story is way off, but it's okay. Better to plant the seed early with the main villain and watch the animosity blossom. Luckily, with our guild training, we'll get to study her ways of combat, which will prepare us for the game's final boss fight. But until then, let's speed through some basic training. The Guildmaster gives us our first weapon, the almighty stick.
Use your stick. Use your stick.
Time to learn some basic melee combat. We whack the dummy around a fair bit until suddenly,
And tomorrow we'll... That's the guild alarm.
the guild alarm is sounded. Not to doubt my own capabilities, but didn't I just learn how to hit a stationary dummy with a stick? Surely a task like this isn't suited for a prepubescent child. I mean, shit, I'm a grown-ass man in real life, and I don't think I'd be up for the task of killing any sort of giant insect unless I had a hazmat suit and a flamethrower. Clearly, I'm not the one, and my Fable character's a lot more fearless because he dispatches these beetles with ease.
Here. I think you've earned yourself some pocket money for that.
Geez, I sure hope this isn't taken out of context. And just like that, the childhood section is complete, and the seed of Whisper Hate is already beginning to sprout.
Get out of bed, lazy bones.
Now that we've spent a few years in training, we get some new threads to really look the part of a guild apprentice. Of course, we'll have to throw our hood up for maximum drip points and be on our way. Now begins the real training. As an adult apprentice, we have to learn the 3 hero disciplines: strength, skill, and will. This is obviously melee, ranged, and magic combat. There are 3 core training exercises with an optional exam for each discipline you can partake in to further humiliate your peers. It also offers a special prize for each. Training begins with melee combat. We're training against Whisper in this discipline as well, so here's an opportunity to do some scouting for our fight we'll have way later in the game. We get ourselves a real sword, and it's time to finally retaliate to all the hateful remarks Whisper has hurled our way. I would love to insult her back, but since we're a silent protagonist, violence will have to be the strum of our vocal cord.
Now pay attention. What I'm about to teach you could well save your life one day. The life of a hero is a dangerous one, and you must learn to block your enemy's attacks if you expect to live long.
You're supposed to be blocking my attack.
Oh, I'm sorry, did he say block? My bad. I am so groggy from oversleeping this morning, and my head is on autopilot. I'm not actually purposely trying to hurt you. Oh god, this guy. So this is the original simp. He's basically the other big bad of the game. He spurgs out every time we do anything good for ourselves. And I know we're technically an adult at this point, but come on. Our hero is basically still a kid, and he doesn't even speak a peep. You're telling me that's grounds for this grown man to plant a hate seed for us?
Whisper told me you've got a training with some fanboy.
We're gonna give him the first of many tastes of defeat and frustration. With melee training completed, it's time for archery training.
Nice aiming.
Will training is next, but the melee training final exam dude is along the way, so I decided to put Whisper to shame one last time real quick fast, cause why not? I guess she's so demoralized from her previous defeat that she's just gonna let me wail on her. Oh, okay, never mind. That's 1/3 of the final exams complete.
You really showed Whisper.
This apprentice thinks he's the fastest in the entire guild. He literally didn't get the memo that I'm the main character. I race to the demon door and back in less than 30 seconds, and dude loses his bet.
I think you've earned yourself some pocket money for that.
This guy here is racist against sparrows or something like that, and he tasks us with eradicating them from the region. To be honest, I'm cool with killing for hire, but this is the only area in the entire game which has sparrows. I'm fairly certain they're an endangered species. Oh well, this is a 100% run, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
I think that's the last one.
We kill the last of them, and with that, we can cross another creature off the endangered species list. Now it's time for our archery final. I did a lot better this time around and actually managed to get an A+ on the first try. I have one last thing in mind before we do the will training. We're about to get our hands on quite possibly one of the rarest items Albion has to offer. We collect these cooking apples all around the training grounds for this nice lady who has the hots for the guildmaster. She needs a whole bunch of them so she can make him an apple pie. In return for helping her collect these ingredients, she awards us with the prophesized blueberry pie. There's only one of these in the entire game. I'm gonna be real with you, in real life I'm not much of a pie man myself. I guess you couldn't call me the pie master, but if you presented me the opportunity to have some blueberry pie, I'm gonna turn into a gluttonous beast. But that's the problem. There's only one blueberry pie in the game. You must not eat the pie. As tempting as this might be, it's a cardinal sin and you can never come back from this deed. Finally, the time has come to complete will training. This has to be the most out-of-pocket training of all three. It's like, yeah, just hit these stationary dummies and then just kind of stand around and wait over and over again. It's even more laughable when you do this for the final exam because it's like a totally zero pressure situation, and the guy grading you is blown away like, holy shit, Harry, you're a wizard. Now that we've completed the 3 core training exercises, the Guildmaster offers to let us progress to the final test with Maze. But we still have a couple things left to complete. We still have our Will Magic final exam, but more important than that, Whisper is about to go play in the woods, and it's time we pretend to be her friend.
Top of the... Wait. Did you hear that? It's coming from over there. Bandits. If only we could get across that stream.
That stream? Right there? With the 3 feet of water? Jeez, and she calls me the lazy one. Don't worry, Whisper. I guess I've been acing all my tests and you haven't been doing jack the last 10 years or so that we've been here, but I'll take care of it. The last thing the training section has to offer before the final test is the final will exam. We all know how this goes.
You're a wizard, Harry.
The final test has us whacking Maze with all 3 different combat types while he teleports around the map like a scared little bitch. Honestly, it's kind of astounding how he's considered to be like the head honcho hero of the guild, and despite that, I've lived here for like 10 years, and this is the first time I've seen him since I was first brought in. Like, why does this guy get his own personal tower, and what does he even do up there? I remain steadfast in my opinion that something about Maze is a bit sus. If anyone deserves their own tower, it's the Guildmaster. I mean, he is the Guild Master, isn't he? Whatever. Anyway, time to graduate.
For many years now, you have worked hard to earn yourselves the title of hero.
I didn't mention this before, but I'm going to be limiting myself to what I can level up. I don't have any hard-pressed rules on this. I just want to add a little bit more challenge to my playthrough while still allowing it to be fun. Mainly, I'm going to be depriving our hero of a lot of the melee skills. Part of this is for the challenge, but also your character will quickly turn into a 7-foot by 7-foot cube man-mutant freak if you level him up too much. There's also the aspect of the character's age being directly correlated to the amount of skill level ups you purchase. So I'm not trying to be 60 years old by the time we reach the halfway mark in the game. The early game I sort of ping-pong around getting some prep work done, so I apologize in advance. By prep work, I mean just clearing out the side areas of any collectibles and side content. This way it's less likely for me to forget about things when I start doing the main quests in the future. That said, immediately outside the guild at Lookout Point, we encounter our first silver key. This is the first of 30, and it happens to be one of our achievements we're going after. I then roll my happy arse to Bowerstone South, our first township of the game and where we will be spending quite a bit of time at. I make haste to collect our second silver key atop the balcony of this clothing shop. You may have remembered I mentioned we aren't going to be using any gold exploits. So how exactly are we going to make our money? Well, there's a little game inside the tavern called Card Pairs. Each pub has their own little mini game for you to participate in. Basically, I sit here for way too long and just grind away. We are earning our fortune the way Peter Molyneux intended. We need to complete each of these pub mini games anyway, since winning the game will reward you with a hero doll. They're all pretty easy except for one, which has notoriously made me want to break things around my vicinity. Now that we've earned ourselves some pocket money,
I think you've earned yourself some pocket money for that.
I stock up on some supplies at the tavern. I remember the game saying how potions will be scarce, and there's only 2 available in the shop. That's actually much less than the vanilla game, but I can see how from going shop to shop, this might add up. I'll give the game credit since usually the stores have enough potions to fill up a camelback and keep yourself supplied for an entire odyssey, so this is a welcome change. I head off to buy ourselves our first set of armor. We get a few pieces of chainmail and an obsidian helmet and boots. The drip is actually immaculate right now. Obsidian is an armor set that is exclusive to the Anniversary Edition. There's quite a few cosmetic additions in this version of the game, but I think Obsidian is the coolest looking aesthetically. In a game like Fable, the drip is always what matters the most. Back at the guild, we encounter our first demon door. He's been there the whole time, but only now we can open it since in our graduation care package we received a lamp. He says our path is dark, but with a quick flick of the wrist, we light our lantern and blind him with our majesty. This door's reward is actually pretty clutch too. It has an elixir of life, which will permanently increase our maximum hit points. This is especially handy since we're keeping our skills to a minimum for as long as possible. The guild Woods has something special for us in the form of our third silver key. We get it by fishing it out of this insanely deep water that Whisper couldn't cross earlier. Bruh. I'm glad it was a silver key too, and not that bandit's head. I thought for sure when it got lobbed off it might have rolled into the river. Next order of business is rummaging the guild for all its books. In hindsight, I probably should have done this before graduation, but it's whatever. We need to collect all these books for another achievement. The teacher in Bowerstone needs to collect as many of these as possible since all the town's funding is being wasted on Lady Grey's coke addiction. You can go ahead and assume I rummaged through all the bookshelves and cabinets in every village everywhere for this reason. I won't include that in the video following this pillaging. I know this is very captivating gameplay, but it's for the greater good. Now that we have a nice early game edge, I think it's time we check out the quest cards. We are meant to take the Wasp Menace, but hey, what are these ones below it? They look interesting. So it's kind of funny because it says your renown level isn't high enough to accept, but there's actually a channel on YouTube called PLOK, the Master Gamer. He gets his renown level to legendary status and you still cannot complete these quests, so there's a little fun fact for you. I settle on taking the rookie quest and make my way to the quest start. Along the way, I see the bully, now all grown up to the same shenanigans. I'm a man of few words, so I don't even decide to hear both sides of the story before I start swinging my sword. You cannot tell me this isn't the same little shat that stole the teddy bear when we were kids. I guess since he's alive, we can confirm that the Oakvale raid was an inside job, right? I thought they would have thrown the higher variant of wasps at me from the start, but it's the same level 1 wasps that are in the base game. The queen goes down just as easily, just strafe and shoot.
Maze is looking for you. He waits for you in the Bowerstone Tavern.
Maze may be waiting for us, but I finally got my first taste of blood. I'm hungry for more combat. And there's some more chores for us to get done around Greatwood as well, so 2 birds with 1 stone. Normally when you travel through Greatwood at this early of a level, they have a bunch of beetles, wasps, and the occasional bandit here and there. It looks like this is our first example of the enemies being buffed as we have a whole clan of bandits right off the rip. This does feel a bit more challenging already. Remember, I said I have to clear out all enemies in an area upon first travel through a region, so enjoy some sped up carnage. Let's check out what's going on in Fisher Creek. This boomer is really lucky these wasps are of the acoustic type beat, cause that wide ass window opening is plenty big enough for them to squeeze through and sting his cheeks.
Oh, thank you, young lad. I ain't cast me line for so long, I got me the shakes.
He's given access to us to his fishing pool grounds and even invites us to a fishing competition later on. This is gonna give us some dope rewards, including another silver key. Speaking of, I believe we have our next one in this pool over here. Yep, that's key number 4. We finish up getting all the items from the special pools, grab this treasure chest, and collect our "I saved you, and now what's yours is mine" tax, and continue on our merry journey. On to the next region, Greatwood Lake. This is definitely one of the prettier regions, and it's even got our 5th silver key. Now let's deal with some enemies. The next region to explore is Orchard Farm. Luckily, this area doesn't have any enemies for us to dispatch, so it's strictly fishing and grave robbing this time around. This dress smells a bit weird. And another silver key, that's number 6. Next region is Greatwood Gorge. The bandits here somehow think I haven't been repressing my desires for vengeance and literally dedicating my life to learning the ways of a hero. They attempt to collect a toll for me to pass through the region without any confrontation. This is how that goes for them. I basically beat them so badly, the final bodyguard Control-Alt-Deletes himself from existence when he sees the boss go down.
You need to leave!
Yep, I pretty much sack their entire operation and steal all their stuff. More enemy clearing at Greatwood Gate. We have our next silver key at the Rose Cottage. That's number 7. The next area is Greatwood Caves. One of the main reasons I've been on this detour before getting any additional quests is to complete this demon door in this location. Doing this requires us to get a combat multiplier of 14 or above before it'll open for us. He pretty much gives us the best in slot weapon we'll have access to for quite a good portion of the game. Before we can attempt this, we need to earn some more gold for an equipment upgrade. We'd otherwise be doing like no damage to the Hobbes and Troll we'll be fighting. So, time for some more card pairs! When you enter a new region, your multiplier is cut in half. So that's the biggest challenge with this. We start out by whacking this troll to start to build up our combat multiplier. Once in the cave, I have to do my best to kill all these Hobbes and avoid getting hit as much as possible. I do a pretty trash job at this since they decided to spawn in like 26 casters and they're all hurling dirty diapers at me in synchrony while I fumble around on this staircase. Luckily though, since we have force push, we can kind of take advantage of this little game mechanic I like to call beating a dead horse. You see, when enemies' bodies are on the ground, you're able to spam cast force push on them. As long as their bodies haven't despawned yet, you'll continue to build your combat multiplier until they finally do despawn. We smack around the troll outside a bit, and we just barely qualify to enter the door.
Oh yes, you are the man. Get your ass through here.
See, even the demon door knows I'm the main character. The weapon we got is called the Cutlass Bluetane. It's the first of many legendary weapons we'll have to collect. There's an achievement we need to get by getting 10 of them. This sword does 165 damage, which is 30 more than the Master Longsword. This is going to be our weapon of choice for the foreseeable future. Now let's grab our 8th silver key from the Hobbe Cave. Oh, and I almost forgot. We need to get our next demon door at Rose Cottage. This is sort of a double whammy or a 2 birds with 1 stone situation, since I mentioned previously in the goals of this playthrough we need to get as many wives as possible. This is going to be our first, as he simply just wants a ring on it in order to open.
Oh, you really know how to treat a door.
He may be a door and he may have a beard, but this is 2025 now, and these things are to be expected. Okay, if you've made it this far in the video, I would like to congratulate you on a job well done and extend my thanks for putting up with my OCD method at completing this game. Maze awaits an audience with us at the Bowerstone Tavern.
Yes, I heard about your encounter with the Wasp Queen. Most of Bowerstone is talking about it.
I'm sorry, are the citizens of Bowerstone also forgetting the fact that I'm absolutely goated at playing card pairs? I just thought I would throw that one in there, but please continue.
There are dark forces gathering that put your giant insect to shame. Those bandits had killed your whole family, and that you were going to be next. But it seems there may have been another survivor. Your sister.
I would like to also add that I did give my sister chocolates for her birthday. If I had made an irresponsible choice and gotten her something like, oh, I don't know, a toy, or even worse, if I was as lazy as my father thought before meeting his untimely demise, and I decided not to do any good deeds to earn gold and just gave her a pet rock or something, there's a high chance she wouldn't have had the nutrition to survive as she crawled around these woods for several days with her eyes cut out. But with that chocolate I gave her, it provided her with just enough sustenance to survive such a horrible situation. The next stop on the journey is Orchard Farm. Some bandits are launching an attack on the region and plan to seize their wares. We could even join them if we'd like to, but why would I join the faction that killed my entire family? We're gonna protect that shit. The footage I had was corrupted for this quest, unfortunately. However, I ever so graciously made a new character just for the part of this video. This guy calls me a chicken chaser, but I would like to remind everyone of the OG chicken chaser. This insult, combined with the mental anguish of completing the guild training for a second time for the sake of this video, causes me to expel my frustrations on this man. Who's the chicken chaser now, huh, bub? Who's the chicken chaser now? Oh hey look, it's public enemy number 1. Not to my surprise whatsoever, she picks up the opposite end of the quest. How truly evil. Just to prove herself to me, she agrees to ransack and kill innocent farmers just trying to make an honest living. For such an urgent matter, he doesn't seem to be moving at such urgent speed. It's our job to protect the stock as we're bombarded with the bandit advance. The only bad part of this quest is the wait time before killing each set of 3 raiders they send at us. But don't forget that Whisper picked up the other side of the quest, and she's likely the one calling the shots here. You would like to think that they would just send one massive force and just quell any resistance they face. But do you really expect any better from public enemy number 1? Whisper's band of thugs is defeated, and she wants to experience some punishment of her own. So, we oblige.
Go on. Try to hit me with a flourish.
I'm sorry, did you say flourish? I definitely heard force push. Totally my bad. Don't worry, I'm not entirely a one-trick pony. I also let out a sharp to assert dominance before thwarting her feeble attempt at redemption. The farmers are very appreciative. The farmer's wife is a little too appreciative.
Thank Avo you're here! I thought we were gonna die in this hellish place!
The next quest we take is Trader Escort. The traders here are petrified of the spooky forest the locals call Darkwood, and they need us to, well, escort them through it. We find a third trader along the way who's been bitten by a Balverine and is asking for our assistance. I feel bad for the dude, and I let him follow for now. I'm telling you right now, when I first played Fable, I was 8 years old and I was stuck on this quest for maybe longer than I should have. Not because of the difficulty or anything, but this part right here with the first encounter of a Balverine scared the absolute piss out of me. My little 8-year-old self simply couldn't handle the pressure of facing this cracked out abomination horror. It's messed up too because nowadays there's been a select group of individuals who have adopted a desire for these things. They've cultivated the word Belvussy. I completely skipped the fight as I'm on a bit of a time crunch until our little friend here turns into one of those things himself. We also need him for a very important task indeed. You see, this is our opportunity to get the best bow in the game, Skorm's bow. The Chapel of Skorm is right off the beaten path of Darkwood Camp. Once there, it offers the opportunity to make sacrifices for evil points and even the chance at receiving the bow. There's a very convoluted system in which to obtain it, like waiting until midnight on a Sunday while being as good as possible and wearing your underwear backwards and socks inside out. Some would say it doesn't exist. Some would say it's a mod, but I'm here to show you, if you make a sacrifice early in the game and on this quest specifically, with one of the traders as your sacrifice, you will get the bow every time. My memory told me they take the infected trader by default, but they take both of my uninfected traders instead. I'm not sure if my memory's failing me or if this is a bug with the Anniversary Edition. No idea, but we're left with Balver Boy here, so the quest is kind of a bust. Take that, Skorm's bow deniers. It's not a mod, it's not a glitch, it's Skorm's bow, and it's right here, it's real, it's mine, and most importantly, it's so magnificent. With this bow, along with the cutlass we got earlier, we're basically playing God at this point, just like Peter Molyneux intended. Right off the edge of this bridge, we have a fishing pool that grants us our 9th silver key. There is another one in Darkwood we'll have to grab after this quest. I was so worried about our little buddy here turning into a Belvussy that I completely forgot to grab it. I'm pretty sure since he's the only trader left in our group, his timer was nullified. He seems to be bugged out. He won't even follow us and he stopped complaining about having his tummy ache, so I'm assuming that's what's going on here. I collect some loot in this corner over here and take down the smelly boy blocking the exit.
Ah, there you are. We've been expecting you.
I finish the quest and deliver the infected individual. He's gonna love it here, living amongst an unsuspecting populace of innocent villagers and traders, ignorant to the fact that they just house a ticking time bomb. That's actually a dope idea for a quest, by the way. Oh well, it wouldn't have been feasible anyway, because this guy here is still stuck at the cave. He's either bugged or is still traumatized by the thought of his other two companions being sacrificed to Satan all over some pixels. Don't worry, we'll put him out of his mental turmoil, so it's all good. I head over to the Grey House to get our 10th silver key. I also get ambushed with our first encounter with the undead, but they're pretty trivial. We beat them up and take their stuff, including a 10 silver key chest. I backtrack to Darkwood Lake to grab that silver key we missed. We get it by shooting an arrow at the top of this big rock. Next stop, PTSD. I mean Oakvale.
Hello. I remember you. We thought you died in that awful bandit raid all those years ago. So where have you been all this time?
It stumps me entirely how this lady remembers me based on looks, considering I'm wearing a helmet. To be fair though, my chin and lips are exposed. I do have a pretty unforgettable jawline, so I'll let this slide. Hey look, public enemy number 2 again! He gives us a clue to our sister's whereabouts amongst the very savages who caused her absence in my life in the first place. The Bandit clan led by Twinblade.
This could be your chance for revenge.
Surely nothing could be more important than pursuing this quest right here and right now. So this is coin golf. Yeah, remember the one particular pub game that I said would give you an aneurysm and shorten your life expectancy by about half? This is it. It's pretty AIDS, but it's necessary to get the next hero doll in the collection. This is not fun. I feel so uncoordinated trying to do this, but this isn't gonna stop us. All it's gonna cost is some time and a replacement keyboard. And all that for arguably the least desirable hero doll of all. Nice. There's this guy by the bench having some ghost troubles. Normally, I don't consider myself much of a ghostbuster, but I am the chicken chaser, and I do enjoy kicking some chickens. Once we Control Alt Delete this ghost, he opens up his chicken kicking competition, so like, yeah, priorities and whatnot. This guy here is a ghost pirate, and he can't rest until his wife receives a bit of the booty he collected in life. He tells us it's next to the jetty on the beach. As a kid, this absolutely stumped me. I was like 8 or 9 years old and I had no idea what the frickety frick a jetty was. I also didn't have any internet, so it's not like I could have looked it up. I literally just wandered the beach until the little shovel icon popped up and I got lucky. We returned the booty to his piece of booty, and we are so on for some chicken kicking later. Over at Barrowfields, there's another demon door. This one is super progressive and totally on board with the body positivity movement.
I want beefy, blubbery, plump.
I totally appreciate this, and I'm not a weightist, so I totally oblige and stuff my face with pies to prove I'm not a bigot. And for sacrificing our physical health, we are awarded with a Willmaster's Elixir. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be ironic, since we didn't practice any willpower when indulging on a month's worth of calories in a matter of seconds. Either way, that's our 4th demon door complete. On to more side adventures, we have this lovely chap in the Guildwoods. He's absolutely fawning over this lady he was tripping with over some blue mushrooms the other day. She's over in Oakvale, and it's crucial we deliver this letter to her immediately. We give her the love letter and we're presented with a hard decision. Do we lie and say this letter is for us? Yes. Yes, we do. Listen, I know we're technically married to the demon door, but I did say one of our main goals of this playthrough was to woo as many women as possible. So this is the beginning of an unofficial quest line I like to call all the single ladies. Don't worry though, I give the reciprocal love letter from the lady back to our woodland friend here to instill some copium inside his heart for love in the future. We even get the guy off drugs, so that's pretty dope. He gives us our first blue mushroom, which starts us on our next quest. I jump the gun and grab the next mushroom, which is located at this stream here by the demon door at the guild. On our way to continue our psychedelic adventure, I decided to change my hero title. I settled with Hood for now, since we're basically a drug lord at this point and need to conceal our identity.
Look, I ate the mushroom, innit? They all said I'd laugh my knickers off if I ate it, and I totally did. And I'm not.
This insufferable lady at the picnic area has our next shroomy. She'll only give it to us if we find a way to make her laugh. I let my intrusive thoughts win, and I guess that's looked down upon. She finds murder hilarious and rewards our murderous tendencies with the next shroomy. The last one is on a table in Barrow Fields. I forgot to record, but you just swipe it off a table by the traders and that's pretty much that. You may be wondering, what are all these blue mushrooms even for? Well, over in Bowerstone, this little girl has us follow her to her family's little hut behind the tavern. Looks like this little dude is off a heroic dose and is tripping sack. Yeah, he's definitely gonna have schizophrenia when this is all said and done. The witch in Bowerstone, Kay, has the antidote.
Ah, yes, good. These will be perfect. Just give me a few hours and, well, what do you know? I've got some of the potion already.
So, she could have helped the whole time. But I don't really blame her for wanting to have a good time. Then again, yes I do. While I'm here, I might as well do the first round of the Fist Fighters gang.
It's for people who like to mash each other's brains out.
This is the first of 4 tiers of Fight Club, but you know the first rule about Fight Club.
You do not talk about Fight Club.
We absolutely destroy the competition, as they weren't provided with the memo of us being the main character once again. Not to mention, since we ate all those pies earlier, we have some extra weight to throw behind our punches. The ringleader is just as trivial as his cronies, and we walk away with our associate's degree in whoop-ass. But while we're here again, might as well talk to Baldly over here. He must have heard the folklore about the Single Lady Saga, because he offers us the next opportunity to collect another trophy wife. We oblige his many requests to alter our appearance for his daughter, only for him to drop this bomb on us.
But to be honest, I don't give 2 hoots what you look like, and neither does my daughter. She doesn't even exist.
I let my intrusive thoughts win once again, and we move on with our lives. Now that that's done, we can finally give the Narcan to that nice lady. Hold up, is that who I helped? Honestly, you can't tell me that's not the same dude again who's been bullying the homeless guy. With the taste of blood still on my tongue, I head over to Oakvale for Fist Fighters Round 2. I'm still the main character, and the boss is still just as trivial as his cronies once again, and we get our degree in Whoop-Ass, Volume 2. That bald dude from earlier's chickens can now be at peace since we evicted the ghost that was terrorizing them. That's right, it's chicken kickin' season once again on the beaches of Oakvale. It's basically shuffleboard, but instead of shuffling those little pucks, we kick chickens into the designated scoring plots to try and score the most points. 50 points earns us the cock call expression, 200 points for a silver key, and 250 points for the ultimate prize, the chicken hat. Some of you may be thinking to yourself, well, sure, a chicken hat is cool, I guess, but it's just a cosmetic, right? That's where you're wrong. Imagine, you're the ultimate villain in a fantasy epic and the main character is dressed in nothing but a chicken hat and completely annihilates you. Can you imagine the psychological turmoil that must be going through your head after experiencing a defeat like that? This is why this prize is so important. Pure and utter humiliation. We prove ourselves to be not only the chicken chaser, but the best chicken kicking, finger licking in all of Albion. Up next on the uber heroic quest list is the Hobbe Cave. This old bag is looking for her grandson, James. I very graciously accept her plea for help and she very rudely slams the door in my face. Once we enter the cave, someone's shouting for help.
Help!
It's beyond me how he heard us walking around, being behind this massive door reinforced with steel, but let's check it out.
Thanks, mate. It was rather embarrassing getting caught by those Hobbes.
I let this dude join my party, not because I want to share with the loot with him or that I think that I need the assistance. No. Rather, I want to show him what a real warrior looks like and totally mog on this scrub the entire quest.
I will not give him up. Provide an alternative human, and I may release him.
Yup, we gave our prodigy of a party member in exchange for dear old James here. You really think I have mercy for a bandit? I just wanted to mention also, as I'm leaving this cave, how incredibly satisfying getting a boatload of experience orbs on the ground is. Just listen to that. I also healed James along the way, which is one of the achievements we're hunting.
It seems you've mastered using the combat monkey.
Combat Evolved is an achievement where we use an Ages of potion while holding a combat multiplier of at least 20. You may have noticed I've had these potions on my hotbar for a hot minute. These are the Ages of potions, which, when used, grant you 1,000 experience in each respective discipline, but that experience can be multiplied by however high your combat multiplier is. In this case, it's 32, so 32 times 1,000, and we've just gotten ourselves 32,000 experience for each potion. What's up, post-production here? Just wanted to clarify that I'm wrong in this clip. It's nerfed. You only get 100 experience per potion in heroic mode, so that would be a total of 3,200 experience, not 32,000.
You're not gonna leave me with her, are you? You think the nymph was bad. My granny is worse.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lied. He actually hates that old bag, and now suddenly things are super awkward. I think he's trying to subtly telepathically give me permission to beat an elderly woman. Nah, I'm not that much of a monster, come on. Although, it is completely possible to kill her if you're that much of a horrible person. I've been told she's only worth 1 experience, but an Ages of potion will get that up to 1,000, so... The next quest I want to do is Hobbe Killing Contest. I even go out to the boasting platform outside the guild because I'm fairly confident in our goal of completely shutting out the competition. I struggled to figure out how to access the other wagers in the menus, so I just say fuck it and take all of them. The one I was trying to get specifically is to kill 10 more Hobbes than Whisper. Not only do I want to kill 10 more than her, which I plan to surpass by quite a bit by the way, but I don't want her to obtain a single kill, all the while wearing my chicken mask and making her feel like a complete fool. Now, let's get to some Hobbe killing. The final score is 34-0, and I couldn't be more proud of myself. This very well may be my personal best. There is one loose end in Darkwood I do need to tie up. The demon door there.
I block the way to all but the most combat hardened.
He summons his guardians to protect the contents he hides behind his majestic doors. But little does he know, we just slaughtered about 782 Hobbes in the past hour, so this is light work. I will say though, the interior of this door is pretty aesthetic. Like anyone struggling with mental unrest, I head over to the tavern to do some more gambling. I buy our first property, which will come in handy when getting hitched with a certain someone later on. I totally max out the decorations on the new crib and fill the materialistic void that burdens my soul. Speaking of emptiness, I still feel like I'm forgetting to do something. Something about bandits, a blind seeress. Oh yeah, my entire family got murdered when I was a child, and Maze gave us clues to my sister's whereabouts. I am so silly sometimes. I'm such a silly goose. Let's go do that. These guards are, well, guarding the entry path to Twinblade's camp. You're meant to use stealth to sneak your way in, but with many things in this game, stealth is so half-baked and broken, you're better off just killing the first set of bandits and hiding behind this big rock until the second wave walks past you. Now that I'm inside, I need to collect these conveniently placed chests with a bandit disguise to convince this top security facility that I'm one of them. Never mind the trail of dead bodies I left in my wake. I'm dressed the part, so they're totally gonna let me in.
Hello mate, nice bandit gear.
Remember how I said earlier, we have to clear every region before I can get a pass? I'm still gonna do that by the way, it's just starting to feel redundant since the enemies don't seem to pose any serious danger, so just trust me bro. Upon entering, I can't help but notice the tavern with the games master. This is where we get the next hero doll. The game being played here is called Spot the Edition. Now, this minigame is both the hardest and yet the easiest. The Game Master has several objects shown to you. He then takes them away and adds an additional item, but with the placement of them being scrambled. You have a limited amount of time to spot the addition. The first couple rounds are pretty easy, but after a bit, my goldfish brain really struggles with this one. Luckily, I'm playing this in 2025. I have a smartphone and I could take a picture of the objects to help me remember. I know, this is kinda lame, but you know what? This is my video and I don't wanna, so... And what do you know? It's a doll of the dude we're about to fight. So I'll just cut off the head of the voodoo doll and we'll get to skip the whole boss fight, right? Before we leave to Twinblade's elite camp, let's grab silver key number 14. I also want to quickly chat about how broken Fable Anniversary Edition is, particularly when it pertains to the menu systems. You already know from the start that I much prefer the Lost Chapters over this version. Well, here's another reason why. The Lost Chapters had a perfectly functional and well-themed menu system that worked as intended. But LIONHEAD, being the innovators that they are, they decided to clutter the of just about everything, interjecting many submenus and all sorts of jargon to the point where it's simply a mess. As you can tell, as I'm browsing this trader's wares, I'm just scrolling all the way to the bottom frantically, like I must see all the things he's offering. Well, actually no, that's not the case. The game is auto-scrolling to the bottom, and the only way I can select the item I want to buy is if I scroll all the way to the top past the item that I need to select, and select the item before it auto-scrolls past it once again. This happens more often than it should, and you can tell because instead of restarting my game, I just deal with it. We're now in the elite camp and one step closer to fighting Twinblade. The guard who's supposed to be guarding does not guard, and I introduced the bandits of this camp to the most powerful bow in all of Albion. The ladies that were clearly being human trafficked are now free on account of my Acquire All Wives questline. They instantly noticed them escaping and sent several bloodthirsty dudes running at full speed to capture them. This is the lead they have right here. Can we be honest with ourselves here and say we did the absolute bare minimum to ensure they escaped to safety? Surely they didn't make the 3-mile run all the way back to Oakvale unscathed.
Do you want to be assassinated?
Sure, why not? Y'all can try. After some quick looting, I head in to face the big bad.
She said a guild puppet would come, and here you are.
Unfortunately, the voodoo doll trick didn't work. It's totally fine though. Twinblade is truly just a big, stupid, slow, fumbling nothing. Like, yeah bro, let me aim at absolutely nothing and stab my swords into the floor in a fit of rage while I throw out my back trying to purge them from the soft dirt floor while I simultaneously leave myself vulnerable to attack? How does this guy lead anybody? Our sister pops in to say, "What's good?" and even remembers our birthday. How sweet.
Before I leave, brother, I have a present for you. For all the birthdays I've missed.
Twinblade is heart set on having us finish him off, but to be honest, he did take care of Homegirl for a grip. And since the voodoo magic didn't do its thing, maybe the best idea for us not to take fate into our own hands since it's not meant to be. We got our childhood revenge on the group that allegedly raided our village, even though that didn't turn out to be true. Twinblade's camp is actually the site to the next fight club, so it's time to loosen those teeth. I'm finally starting to get the respect I deserve around these parts. As soon as I initiate the first round, I realize I'm somehow bald. I don't remember willingly allowing this to happen. Onto the boss, and I enroll equal amounts of psychological warfare. I beat the guy without a scratch, and just like that, we passed level 3 of Fist Fighters. It's finally time to show this Greatwood Demon Door how evil we could be. Now, what's more evil than eating a flock of innocent baby chicks? Absolutely nothing. We get a crappy axe that we're never gonna use, but it does contribute to the Legendary Weapons achievement. There's a couple important quest cards at the guild for us. For now, I'm gonna take the Traitor Massacre. This quest is exactly what it sounds like. We massacre some traitors.
Oh, and don't be taking no prisoners, because we've got enough of them already.
I can see this is hard on you guys. I am sorry. I truly am. But I did say it.
Oh, and don't be taking no prisoners.
We drop one more sick dance line before given the choice to either kill or spare the traitor. Realistically, if I don't kill him myself with my extreme professional swordsmanship skills, these guys could easily botch the job and make him suffer even more than he has to. So hate me all you want, but I execute the guy. Luckily, the next quest is Traitor Rescue. Before that though, I stop at the shops at Oakvale to see what supplies we can get our hands on. To my surprise, it turns out we actually have 23 will potions in our inventory. I mean, typically by now, it would be normal to have well over 100 plus if you really wanted to in the normal difficulty. But 23 does still seem like quite a bit for a game mode where they're supposed to be terribly scarce. I guess we've been just doing a good job of being conservative. That is seriously going to be key, along with stocking up at every shop we see, because the arena is going to be a resource hog. We do not want to run out of potions there. A quick check of the inventory reveals that I have like 60 health potions, which is wild this early in the game. Yeah, I don't think this was intended. We're definitely set for a while.
I just got out of guard college last week and I only got a C- in hostage recovery.
Out of all the guys to put your fate in the hands of, they asked the guy who nearly flunked out of guard college. I had the first trader by my side as I advanced deeper into the camp and nabbed the rest of them. Anyways, they got the next trader shacked up in his own little apartment. I get the final trader to follow and don't even bother with the other baddies since time is of the essence. Luckily, the previous area remained cleared out and we can gracefully lead these poor sods right to safety. And just like that, another quest complete. Maze awaits another audience with us. To my surprise, dude isn't in the middle of a violin lesson right now and actually has time for some story plot, thank God.
An old friend of mine has gone missing. Calls himself the Archeologist. He may have stumbled onto something big, perhaps big enough to put his life in danger.
With nothing better to do, I think it's time we explore this new area in Witchwood and help our new archaeological friend with his giant problem, or GPP for short. On our way to the GPP, we encounter our first rock troll. I take the opportunity to get our achievement, Feed the Troll. He throws big rocks at us, and if you time it just right, you can hit that right back at him like Big Poppy in the MLB. This little fishing pool here holds our 15th silver key. Basically, this demon door wants us to figure out his name, but we're an MLG Fable player, so we walked right past the dude because we're just cool like that. We have to use these stones to spell out his name. Given the assortment of letters, I decided it's probably best to make a quick goof and spell out
S H I T S H I T. Shit.
Okay, we'll spell out the actual name. Basically, this dude is hella peeved that we found him here. He tells us he's been studying the focus sites around Albion, which is a shared interest of Jack of Blades. He offers us his journal to read up on his studies. We do none of that and ransack his hideout instead. He even conveniently has a 15-key silver chest just for us as we gain the ability to do so. It has a health augmentation, which is extremely rare and isn't available until much later in the game, save for a couple legendary weapons. It's pretty cool and all, but this other chest has some chainmail leggings. That's another issue with this game. If you receive a clothing item that you already own, it doesn't stack in your inventory. It basically evaporates into the ether. Same with weapons, which is especially annoying given the fact that you could really make use of some of the augments you find along the way in different combinations. Now to the next quest, the White Balvusi. This one is in Witchwood once again. This guy here wants us to help him rob a trader, but any cultured gentleman of Albion knows this is a trap. I try to play a 1000 IQ move and cut him off, but can someone please explain this to me? This is allegedly the best non-existent modded bow in the game, and just now it wants to not shoot straight? Just kidding, I totally make the shot work. I had to put an angle on it, but I still got it. Sadly though, my cool new bandit friends decided I was showing signs of antisocial behavior, so they thought it was best to leave me before I snapped. On our way to the quest start, we get our 16th silver key. How my fishing rod is able to hook onto a glass bottle, I'll never understand. We finally make it to Knothole Glade, which is ripely getting raided by Balvusies. I swear, I don't know how Knothole Glade is even an established town. A large portion of the side quests in the rest of the game is usually Knothole Glade falling victim to some BS. Well, after dispatching the invading beasts, we are granted access beyond the gates into the town.
Bloody Balverines. In all my years as chief, I've never seen anything like it.
They're eager to brag about how trash the situation is. They totally don't shut the door behind me and just let the alpha Balverine right into the town. Maybe the level of incompetence is what has led this town to have such a big target painted on its back. We're tasked with giving it 10 good bonks to show it who's boss, only to be told we didn't even hurt the thing.
That thing's skin is too tough, even for you.
The White Balverine. It's my husband. Or it was, once. He was bitten by the Balverine he killed. And slowly, he turned into the creature he hunted for so long.
There's a lady up the hill whose husband was a Balverine slayer, and she should be able to provide me with something that may help this apparently invincible Balverine.
My husband used silver weapons to hunt the last white Balverine.
But wait, hold up, did she just say silver weapons? Oh my god, guys, I think this lady's late husband might have been a witcher. Honestly, we may just be fighting Geralt of Rivia in Balverine form here. He wants us to hunt it down once and for all while it's still on the run. But first, let's open up this demon door. As long as you shoot an arrow at its face with a bow stronger than ebony, he should open up. I begin whacking Geralt of Rivia only to realize I totally goofed and forgot to equip the silver augmented sword. Oh yeah, I went from hitting like 50s to 250s. He makes one last cry for help from his friends, but it's no use. One final bonk sends him right to his demise. The whole town is super stoked on our victory. Behind this house is the 17th silver key, and at the tavern we have the newest games master for the next hero doll. It takes me a few tries, but I eventually get to the target time and get our prize. A hero doll of Mom. Where's the Teresa doll at? Or better yet, what about my father Brom hero doll with detachable organs? We're actually ready for the graduate level fist fighters gang, hosted where else but here in Knothole Glade. The beginning rounds go much the same, but these cronies actually give me a little bit of trouble here and there. They managed to drop my health a bit as it's indicated here in the side bung bar. I mean, I kinda deserve it for trying to mess around a bit, but still. You see, obviously they can never take down my health to 0 normally, but they track the amount of punches to determine whether I get eliminated in a round. The final boss is the Chief. The guy who can't even defend his village on his own, and who is incredibly overweight and probably smokes way too much weed, is role-playing as a badass fist-fighting mafia boss. The whole fight takes me almost 2 minutes, but I get it done. They set up some ghetto Olympics as the final test of agility, and they award me with my master's degree at long last. We also get an achievement for that called Fight Cluck, and we're ready to make our way to the gore fest that is the Witchwood Arena. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the famous dirt road that leads to the majestic gates of Mortal Kombat. I want to stop into the title vendor to pick up a new nickname for my dude. This is going to be the final title I'm going to use for this playthrough, so I need it to be tough. Gladiator seems to fit the occasion pretty well, so Gladiator it is. The guard guides me through the Hall of Heroes on our way to the staging area. Before the arena was a spectacle for public entertainment, it was actually a venue used to settle disputes between rival heroes, a fact that is lost to time. Inside the staging area, it's imperative you hit up the shopkeeper. The demon door in the bandit area requires you to wear 3 different outfits, one of them being a bright plate armor set. This place you're guaranteed to obtain it. While shopping here, it's also important that I grab the Thunder Hero doll because of 100%ing purposes and whatnot. I also grabbed the silver augment for sale. You may remember when we added 1 to our master longsword during the White Balverine quest. If you thought 1 augment was crazy damage, just wait and see what 2 does. This dude is absolutely exploding with stock as he has 19 health potions and 15 will potions. So we're now up to 83 health potions and 49 will potions. Not to mention, I'm carrying like 97 red meats, so I guess I'm glad overcumbrance isn't a thing in Fable.
We need a new volunteer. New man, you look ready. In you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment, I give you Gladiator, famous for such quests as Orchard Farm and defeating ex-hero Twinblade.
Round 1 is nothing to write home about. I literally just one-tap them all with Inflame, followed by that sweet, sweet Sound of Experience collection.
3.
Round 2 is against the Hobbes, and it's pretty easy too. Just gotta rush the casters and take out the trash.
It's time for the team round. 2 heroes, side by side, fighting together for their very survival.
Team rounds, eh? You mean Whisper's actually gonna help me? I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. The first of the team rounds pits us against the all too familiar Balverines. Alright, so basically you remember how we added the silver augments earlier and went from hitting 50s to 250s? Well, just for this very moment, we have our very own longsword with not 1, but 2 silver augments. Alright, give me a white Balverine. Dude, this can't be right. Give me 2 more. You saw it here first, folks, 2-shotting white boys. Next up, we have the Undead. I never understood the order they put this in. The Undead are such a slouch enemy. If it were up to me, I would have put these guys in round 2 right after the Wasps. The Bandit round might actually be the most challenging in the arena. Some of them are really quick and do some decent damage, like the Assassins, the Elites, and the big guys. They also have dudes in the background firing off arrows at you. But with that, that's the end of the Bandit round. Next up, Earth Trolls. I do a little shooty and take them down. Next up, even more Trolls. Slow time and bonk stick can really sum this one up. The only annoyance this round has is when you're busy whacking one, the other will start throwing rocks at you. Just pop another slow time and switch targets, rinse and repeat. The final round of the arena is the Giant Scorpion Arachnox. It's definitely a cool set piece, but an incredibly easy fight. Fable never really has super interesting mechanics for boss fights. Usually they're really cool looking, have a couple slow attacks, then do a final attack that opens them up to big damage like this one right here. But one thing I do respect is that even if the boss fights aren't that interesting, at least they do exist. I'm looking at you, Fable 2. Anyway, we take down the Scorpion and wouldn't you know it?
It's the one, the only, the hero of heroes, Jack of Blades!
I have returned. After an eternity away from you all, Jack of Blades is back.
The most aesthetically pleasing villain in all of gaming has been watching our Chad display of murder this whole time, and I bet he's impressed. Lucky for us, he's super based, and wants us to finally kill off Whisper.
And I have a proposal to mark the occasion. One final round.
It's about damn time. Here we are, folks. Not only is this the most epic quest in the game, but it's also the final boss fight of the game, and we get to kill off public enemy number 1 after all this build-up.
I'm going to put on a good fight, but I'm not killing you. I can't kill you.
I mean, at least she's thinking logistically for once. Fun fact, I remember as a kid standing there like a lemon and testing to see if she would kill us. The answer is yes. She's absolutely a fake friend, and because of that, there will be no mercy today. You may notice here we're glowing blue. There's an achievement to defeat Whisper without taking any damage. I preemptively activated Physical Shield before this round started to ensure we wouldn't take any damage. I also get the achievement for participating in the arena without taking a single break between rounds.
Don't do it, farm boy. We agreed. Just walk out.
Back inside the arena, Thunder is doing some more complaining to the beautiful Lady Grey, who happens to be our next side quest. She invites us to the Rich People District, Bowerstone North.
A man of worth. You should pay me a visit at my Bowerstone North Manor.
Who murdered my sister? You'll die the slowest death.
The guard guides us back through the Hall of Heroes and points out a statue of our very own mother. Following this, we take a second to soak in the fact that she's been here, and the guard absolutely forgets he's escorting us and leaves us behind. Our boy Jack pops in to say what's up. I honestly have mixed feelings about this dude. He's so freaking cool looking, but he did kill my dad. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He literally just admitted to having my mother imprisoned. And I'm just like, yeah bro, cool man, I'll see you later. I'm quick to accept Lady Grey's invitation, and we find ourselves in quite possibly the wealthiest region in Albion, Bowerstone North. The shop here has some particular items of interest that I want to buy. Technically speaking, this shop does offer the best raw damage weapon in the game, that being the Soulless Greatsword. But like I said before, I personally prefer a lighter weapon playstyle. Lady Grey has eagerly been awaiting for us to pay her little town a visit. I think it's finally time to grace her with my presence. She asked for a gift, but doesn't exactly tell us what it is that tickles her fancy. Luckily for me, I'm a MLG Pro Fable player, and I've already gotten her the Black Rose that will open up the floodgates even further. She also requires us to have our own house.
I'm so pleased to hear you have a house. A while ago, I lost a necklace.
The necklace is buried between the two little dinghies on the beach in Oakvale. I bring it to her, and now we're really out of the friend zone this time. She mentions Thunder being the other suitor. Him winning the arena as well, I guess, is what qualifies him. But if you'll remember, we were actually a teenager practicing combat with his sister when he mentioned he conquered the arena. You know for sure, the second he gained access to Bowerstone North, he was instantly simping over Lady Grey. That's like at least an entire decade of trying to get with this girl, and I just swoop in and she's like, yeah, alright, just kill Thunder and you can have me.
First you kill my sweet sister, and now you try to take the woman I love. I will crush your filthy bones till there is nothing left.
We happily roll our way to Thunder's execution, but not before making some pit stops. I loot a couple chests, dug up a silver key in this inconspicuous ring of flowers. There's another inconspicuous ring of flowers right here. And I even find the first of 6 treasure clues. Anyways, time to kill Thunder.
My sister thought you were her friend, and you killed her.
The spooky ambiance is definitely what I would choose myself as a designer if I was setting the player up to end a family's bloodline. This fight is halfway decent. Thunder will block all attacks minus when you flourish at him. He also casts an AoE lightning ability and is invulnerable to being hit from the front, so you kinda just gotta shimmy your way around to his backside and hit him with your bow. I don't know why he's choosing to use AoE abilities anyway. Doesn't he know this is a 1v1 duel?
If I can't have her, no one else can.
Bro literally just plunged us off a cliff in hopes that we'd both die over a female. This is some down bad behavior I didn't even think was possible. I whoop him some more until he starts huffing more copium and retreats into his sad little cave like the rat he is. I take advantage of this lull in the action to fish out the 20th silver key. Alright, someone grab the shotgun, let's put old Yeller down now. Okay, totally didn't see this coming, but Thunder is so hellbent on taking our lives when he's about to lose his own. He stops the fight and is like, yeah, my T levels are making it incapable for me to die, so like, yeah, just gonna take my stuff and go home if that's alright. Oh, by the way, here's my helmet. On the bright side, we got a cool mana augment from this 15 key chest.
I must make the arrangements for the wedding at once. And if you so much as look at another woman before then, I shall have her pretty head chopped off.
I get a dowry of 15,000 gold, which is pretty dope, but the real reward here lies behind the doors here. Lady Grey's bedroom has 2 special items for us. First is our 21st silver key. Our silver keys are now old enough to drink. And secondly, but more importantly, we have the Katana Haru. This sword is the best in slot light sword we can obtain in the game besides the endgame swords. This also happens to be the 4th legendary weapon I've gotten so far. Still haven't forgotten about that achievement. On the subject of marriage, I think it's time to collect another wife. Sure, being royalty is cool and all, but wouldn't it be more beneficial to wed someone who could make it more likely to produce powerful children such as us? Having hero children will actually ensure that my bloodline will remain legendary, and I'm here to show you how to do that. You see, we have a guild trainee who happens to have the hots for us follow me from the guild to Bowerstone South. Then it's as simple as hitting her with the, hey, yes, haha!
Hey.
I'm starting to find
yes.
you strangely attractive.
Haha!
Nice.
Proposing, and then showing her our marital home, and then bing bang boom, we have a heroine wife. I round up a posse of apprentices from the guild and take them on a journey of a lifetime. My ultimate goal is to escort them through Greatwood and Darkwood until we reach Oakvale. I'm pretty much a seasoned hero at this point and can be trusted to protect anybody. I do want to highlight unlocking this 15 key chest in Darkwood Lake. It has a pretty beefy crossbow that would probably be pretty hype if it wasn't for the fact that I have the best bow in the game. The last thing standing in our way to victory on this self-imposed side quest is, of course, a Belvusi. I put it down with ease and now I'm home free, baby. So what is all this for? Was it really in the pursuit of education for these young aspiring warriors? Nah bro, this is the ultimate Fable playthrough. You know it's obviously far deeper than that. Let's run it back real quick and talk romance again. Oakvale is another destination of another marital home, and I just can't keep my thoughts away from marrying another heroine, so... You may think this is a bit extra, but I disagree. You see, conception in the Middle Ages was quite the risk. Mortality was a genuine concern when having a child, both for the baby and the maternal figure. By marrying a second apprentice, we have effectively doubled our chances of producing a happy nuclear family. It also pretty much ensures our bloodline will continue. Don't you guys realize the hero of Fable 2 is a descendant of our own? I'm simply just making sure the sequel to this game gets made. You may remember there's another demon door on the abandoned road near the bandit area. Since purchasing the bright plate mail set, I now have the requirements to enter and reap the rewards. Inside his brisk interior he has for me, a legendary mace that does less damage than the weapon I'm currently using. Over in Oakvale there seems to be a problem. There's a group of guards suspiciously hanging out behind a house in my neighborhood. I guess I'll see what they have to say. I've been tasked with killing an allegedly well-known assassin who's killed the guard's brother.
That bastard's been hunting me down for days. Can you believe it? My own brother wanting to kill me.
Whoa boys, we got a plot twist here. This assassin didn't kill his brother. It is his brother. And that guard went on about trust and honor and ugh. Then he goes and tries to employ me to kill his own brother? Even the assassin says himself that they're still brothers after all, and they're just two opposite sides of the same coin.
I know what he's thinking. Mother's ill again, and he's never been able to convince her to write me out of her will.
Oh, this makes a lot more sense now. He offers me double to kill his brother instead. I turn it down knowing he's about to bump the bounty up to 2,500. I take his money, but unfortunately for him,
You need to leave! Still, it's not nice, is it? Wanting your brother dead?
I mean, I'd have to agree with the first red guy here. Family is family. I mean, I know I killed the dude and everything, but I still disagree with the premise. So I collect the money and kill him anyway, like the beast he is. I guess nobody's getting that inheritance money after all. Anyone got this lady's address? Next up is Lost Trader. This one's pretty simple. Home Dog here lost his brother up the road, and it's my job to clear house and bring him back safe. I do just that. Dog on the bandits, grab the lost brother, bring him back easy peasy. Kind of a boring quest, but a very valuable reward. The second treasure clue. I make another stop to fish a creek. There's a fishing competition going on there that we're long overdue for. I caught a bunch of fish and submitted them to get a silver key being the second prize. Getting second place also entitles us to the third place award being the Rod of Champions. This helps me get an even bigger fish to win the top doggy dog prize being the Fisherman's Hat.
Bless my fins, what a beast!
Man, I'm really on the grindstone because it's time to knock out another silver quest in Knothole Glade. These bandits set up a camp outside pending to siege the town on account of their clanmates being held for execution inside the walls. I've been tasked with quelling the chaos outside the gates and bringing this crusade to an end. But don't be fooled. Whenever in Knothole Glade, you know some BS is going on, and that's no different here. Mr. Chief here has an entire army outside his walls ready for the taste of blood, and what does this guy say?
As for me, I'm off back to my hut. Good luck.
Bruh. I get it, bro. Smoking weed all day and dealing with the stress of no longer being the fistfighter champion is very tiring work. Speaking of tiring work, I do what Master Chief the Hut here could never do and single-handedly killed the army of bandits to bring the town a sense of security and kept the prisoner in their possession. As you can see in the background here, I'm donating quite a sizable sum of gold to the Temple of Avo. The Temple of Avo is basically the good version of the Chapel of Scorn. This is because if you donate enough money, you'll be awarded with good boy points and another legendary weapon.
The gods are pleased by your donation.
Okay, the gods may be pleased, but I'm not pleased with how much this shit cost me for something I'm not even gonna be using at all. This is the Darkwood Bordello. If I may interject, I'm no expert on real estate. No sir, my name is not Romeo and I'm not making 300 to 400k in real estate dating hella Insta models for clout. I'm just a simple man playing video games and typing up a retrospective script on a 20-year-old game. But I don't think the best place to draw in business for a brothel is in the middle of a region with things that want to kill you. I feel that would slow foot traffic down quite a bit unless your target audience is Balverines and Hobbes. Madam Minch recognizes our main character status and explains to us her plight. The women here are basically all being held against their will by the owner called Grope. and she wants us to find the deed to shut this place down. I talked to Grope to get his side of the story. This basically confirms that he just looks at these women as property. Madam Minch has been trying to get him drunk in order to have him tell her where the deeds are hidden. He said he wouldn't be privy to being fooled by her antics, but what if he was offered the opportunity of a lifetime and have a few drinks with me? Surely there's nothing nefarious about a couple bros sharing some brewskis. So I hotkey some beers and get this dude absolutely hammered. Lucky for us, he sleep talks and reveals the deed's location. I go to the Bardello Gardens to dig it up under this tree. But I'm pretty sure having the deeds to something doesn't make you the rightful owner just because it's your hands touching the paperwork. But Albion is a magical place and things are just built different here. So just like that, I guess we're the owner of this place. Being the new proprietor, surely I'm gonna shut this place down immediately and do the right thing. Right? Well, yeah, sure, but first I need to take advantage of my position of power in the name of completion. There's a demon door here that we need to open, and there's a strict policy that says we have to make love a minimum of 10 times, and I don't think that time with the chicken counted. I sample all the wares of the establishment, and we are awarded with the very fitting pimp hat. I give Madam Minch the deeds and turn this place into a safe haven for women with no other place to go. Madam Minch has a quite interesting reaction to this news.
Oh my, oh.
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
So, you finally met Jack of Blades. I met him long ago, of course, when he burned down our home and cut out my eyes.
Okay, so basically Teresa has concluded once and for all, Jack is not as cool of a guy as we once thought he was. Big Sis left behind a quest card for us to deal with this and get our mom back. While I'm here though, we might as well open this demon door. This one will open for you after you marry Lady Grey. That's door number 10 out of 12, we're getting pretty close. I forgot to hit the record button at the quest start, but I'm back at it again with the main story quest. This quest has us rescuing our old friend, the Archeologist. This one is particularly exciting because it's my first encounter with Jack of Blades' minions. They're super snappy to fight. Even if you're behind them, they turn to face you in a single frame and are pretty good at keeping their guard up to block your melee attacks. When you kill them too, they have a very satisfying crumbling explosion sound and animation which pairs nicely with the experience collection. Standing in that spot up there triggered an assassination event. An assassin hired by Twinblade's clan tries his luck at killing the main character of the game. I'm pretty surprised with how merciful I was to the guy that he would even try to do this to me. This is the part where we need to stop Jack of Blades' minions from kidnapping the Archeologist before the time runs out. This was the quest that, as a kid, had me stuck for a little while. I can't tell you exactly why that is. I just remember failing this quest again and again, and it was always because I ran out of time. All you have to do here is spam slow time, assassin rush, and inflame when you get to the docks. It really is that simple, and I can chalk up my past failures to gaming was just different back in 2006, man.
You saved me, but then I'd still be safely in my cave if it wasn't for you.
Our archaeological buddy lets us know he's aware of a way into the prison where our mom's being held at. The only way to get there is through an ancient passage through the Lychfield Graveyard. With Homeboy saved and that side quest out of the way, it's time to head to this so-called graveyard. I very inconspicuously stand right in the middle of the doorway and eavesdrop my way into understanding exactly where all the items I'll need will be. This guy also seems to be pretty nonchalant about a bunch of undead zombies wandering around his crib. I don't know, me personally, if I had zombies outside my front door, the last thing I would be doing is manufacturing a scavenger hunt around my yard. The aforementioned scavenge that will be done is collecting a cold dead chap named Nostro's armor. Thankfully, the owner of the graveyard is nice enough to let me steal everything in his house, including Nostro's helmet.
Guild business, is it, eh? You want to go through them old kingdom gates? I tell you, they ain't been opened for generations. They say that only Nostro the gatekeeper could open them.
What a man of honor. He even unlocks the gates for us. What a chill guy.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Who even is this Nostro guy to begin with? I'm not a huge expert on the lore, but my basic understanding is that he's the first hero following some sort of age of darkness. Not to say he's the first hero ever, he's the first one following an extended period where they were thought to be all but extinct. Nostro, with the help of another ghastly chap named Scythe, founded the Heroes Guild. I waste no time getting to work finding these armor pieces. I find the 23rd silver key in this coffin, a little good old-fashioned grave robbing gets me the 24th, and a little good old-fashioned fishing gets me the 25th. Man, that fisherman wasn't lying. This master rod is a beast. I was able to use this fishing rod to grab a massive ancient metal shield.
My armor, my helmet, my sword, and my shield. You gathered for me, so the path I shall yield.
I think he's gonna remember this gesture of goodwill, and maybe perhaps might even return a favor for me in the future. But for now, he rests. As for us, it's time to reveal the passageway to our mother's prison. In order to open this gate, I need to kill the big stinky grumpy undead. He might have been someone important back in the Old Kingdom days, but now he's just stinky. I oblige the voodoo juju and fill up the thing with souls to unlock the gates to the prison. How these two things are connected to one another, I'll never be able to tell you. I would have just used a key, but yeah, stealing zombie souls for a one-time unlocking of a door is pretty rad too, I guess. After all that doom and gloom, I decided to treat myself to lift my spirits. The guild's 20 silver key chest holds the Morin Greathammer. Okay, I'm gonna sound like a bit of a hypocrite for going on about how I prefer light weapons and all that jazz, but I would be 100% lying if I said this didn't go with our armor to a T. It would be criminal for us not to use this thing for at least a little bit. The prison quest is gonna offer nothing but doom and gloom and no sun, so I don't see a problem in enjoying the nice weather of Greatwood for a bit before committing to a vitamin D deficiency. The next silver quest is hostage rescue. Some bandits have abducted some unlucky folks and are holding them for ransom. One is stationed at Fisher Creek and the other at Greatwood Lake. I gotta admit, it's pretty fun beating their asses with a big doofy looking hammer. I just have that cartoonish bonk sound playing in my head every time I whack them with it.
I'm impressed, hero.
But my leader has another hostage somewhere in Greatwood Lake.
If you're trying to truly collect a ransom, wouldn't you keep that information to yourself? We saved the villagers, and that's another quest complete, and another treasure clue added to the collection. I'm still kinda in grind mode, so I meet up with Briar Rose and Darkwood for the next side quest, Darkwood Disturbance.
The minions must have been using the shrine to summon this... whatever the hell it is. I know a way of sealing the portal and making sure that thing never appears. Keep those minions away from me while I recite the incantation.
You know, it really is a shame that Briar isn't a romance option, and I would certainly be adding her to the wife collection if it were at all possible. Sometime later, and all the minions are defeated to reveal...
You can fight by my side anytime.
Yeah, boy.
She heads back to the guild to figure out what that creature was, and that's another side quest scratched off the list. Time for another, you guessed it, side quest! This time, funnily enough, our objective is the opposite of the one from Knothole Glade. It's my job to free the prisoner before he's executed on Headsman's Hill. Long story short, I kill some guards, kill some more guards, and kill even more guards, and then finally execute the executioner. The irony is spicy in the air tonight. Well, I really hate the prison section, so I'm gonna be helping good old farmhand Ian as well. His mom was murdered recently, and if this isn't proof that he's telling the truth, just give this a listen.
You know it sounds ridiculous, but I swear I've seen her ghost there.
And it's all because of me. What? She was killed on her way to our anniversary party.
You mean to tell me his voice changed on his own? I mean, it could be possible he hit stage 2 puberty just now, but I find that to be very doubtful. I believe his dead mother is speaking to us through him, and I'm fully locked in to help at this point. Her spirit can't rest, and I guess we're a shaman now because spirits seem to only like to do business with me. I talked to his mom, and she explains how she is trying to bring Isaiah, her son, a family heirloom necklace for his wedding anniversary when she was stopped, stabbed in the chest, and robbed by a passing bandit. I fill Isaiah in, promising to bring justice to the murderer and get the necklace back. Over at Greatwood Lake, there is but a singular red dot on the map, so I'm gonna take a wild guess here and say this is the perp.
The necklace! How can I ever thank you?
I mean, you could do the prison quest line for me. Guess I'll take that as a hard no. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna collect an extra reward in this chest over here in your backyard. Alright, the long anticipated prison section is here. This part really does drag, and I think it's everyone's least favorite part of the game. The only thing of note along this path is a silver key and a couple chests with some free augments. Not a whole lot to mention about these tunnels. Yeah, just killing these wages and stealing all their stuff until we reach this door.
I told you. Touch me again, and I'll wring your neck. Wait. I know you. No, it's a trick. You're not my son. The bastard's playing with my head. But it really is you, isn't it? What the hell were you thinking coming here? Don't you see he'll take us both?
At long last, I found my mom and she can finally cook chicky nuggies for me as I play video games in her basement like it was always meant to be. I spring her from her cell and we embark on a hike to freedom.
Jack!
It isn't polite to leave without saying goodbye.
Well, that was anticlimactic. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but did my character just forget about his inflame spell? There was 4 minions, which I've killed 1,000,000 of already, and Jack's cloak was pretty intimidation factor at first, but its charm is worn off. This prison is a drab place. And to spice things up, they hold an annual race between all the prisoners every year. The guards get to place bets on who they'll think will win. This is our chance at escape. In a perfect world, I would have nakedly beat everyone to death and used will magic to escape by force, but no. Will abilities are magically disabled inside the prison. How? Magic! That's how! Use magic to negate magic and everything is magical and simultaneously not magical, yet magically it all makes sense. The one good thing that comes out of this section is the line one of the guards shouts at you as you race.
That way, you great big Balverine turd!
As long as you have a pulse, you'll win the race every time. But because I had to fool around at the start, I guess I'm dead and have no pulse, and I'm writing this script via the afterlife, so thank goodness for cheap internet and rent on the other side. Don't worry, we win next year and it only costs us an entire year of pain and torture. Our reward is listening to this guy's sad attempt at spitting bars and becoming the OG SoundCloud rapper. I humor him while I attempt to steal the key to leave this place. Normally you cannot get the key on your first attempt and you must try a second time. But interestingly, I discovered that isn't exactly the case. You will get the key on your first attempt to steal it just so long as you've already spent your first year in prison. The guards are in a state of absolute panic since they can't find the key and I guess torture's postponed. I'm going to do my very best to protect these guys and get them out of here alive. But sadly, I've already lost 3 out of 5 of them, and I'm not holding out to much hope with this little side project of mine. I stop by and collect our mother once again, but it's for real this time. I make some good progress springing our escape plan, killing everything in sight. So far, so good. Surely nothing can stop us now. Oh man, it's time for the Kraken fight. This one is actually slightly more fun than the Scorpion fight, but not by a whole lot. These tentacles have to be damaged before it reveals the Kraken's head, and we actually do real damage to the thing. Literally one swing from the tentacle and it kills one of our inmate homies. In retrospect, I probably should have had them wait instead of following me close behind because that's where the boss's attacks will land. I think he had a bit too much to drink or maybe some bad Burger King because this dude is projectile vomiting directly on my mother's brand new scarlet robes.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Hold up though, I need to know if our homie from another mommy survived. What?
You'll distract the guards and escape later.
What? Okay, I heard his voice, so I'm taking that as a win and I'll consider him an escapee. Finally, that's the worst part of the game behind us. Geez, that place sure is a drag. But you heard what Mama said.
Still so much to do. Jack is getting closer to the sword. I can feel it. He needs a key to unlock the sword from its hiding place, and now he knows where it is. The key is in Hook Coast, hidden in the ruins of an old abbey. You have to get to it first. We have one advantage. He doesn't know the key will only make itself known to one of our bloodline.
Mama said if Jack wants the key, he has to go through me. But seriously though, he needs a vial of our blood or spill blood in general to access that key that unlocks the spooky sword that will rule the world. Therefore, it's rather imperative we find and protect our sister at all costs. Look at my beautiful bride, fast asleep and dreaming of better days before I was wrongfully incarcerated and missing for 2 whole years. Yeah, she's extremely low maintenance and doesn't seem to mind my prolonged absence. This woman is my ride or die for sure. The next quest is Bandit Spy Extraction. The bandits have a spy operative in place with the traitor group, but things are beginning to smell a bit fishy to the other traitors, so we need to yeet his ass out of there before he gets caught. After much bonking and many whacks, we find our guy. Oh look, at the end of the bridge are his gangmates who had the audacity to charge me if I wanted their help, only to die by the time we got back. And just like that, that's the final side objective we had left. Now it's time to lock in because, Jack of Blades, I'm gonna rip your dumb mask off and show the world that ugly mole and your missing front tooth. In Darkwood, there's a Callus Gate that has ever so inconveniently been unusable for the entire game thus far. Well, we've arrived just in time to finally activate the joint and open the gateway to Hook Coast. Like Mom said, it'll only be open once its hunger for rotting flesh is satiated. Okay, so after we kill all these zomboids, the gate will remain open for us in the future, right? That would only make sense if the game Fable made any sense. But I might have to remind you of the fact that the men behind the creation of this game were 3 bald men and they had brain freeze throughout the development due to the fact that there's no hair to shield them from the cold.
Every day I get up and think about Fable. Every night I go to sleep and think about Fable.
So of course the gate is closed forever after its single-time use, obviously. Regardless, it's time to step through and visit the snowy town of Hook Coast for the very first time. We are able to snag ourselves our 27th silver key, only 3 left to go. So basically we're barred off from access to the area that holds the septimal key to unlock the Sword of Aeons. The barrier will only drop when we kick its ass with an incantation, naturally. Off to the guild we go.
The book! Don't forget the book!
Okay, the book we need is conveniently not taken away from Jack's minions. And what do I do anyway? I forget the damn book.
You must stop him getting the key from Hook Coast. There is a quest card for you, but if you choose to take it, you will forsake your other tasks. This is too important.
Literally every bit of game content is complete to this point. So it's time to put this Jack guy in the dirt with absolutely 0 interruptions. May I introduce you, ladies and gentlemen, to the most annoying and pointless enemy type of the entire game. Screamers. They screech worse than a drunk woman on a body cam traffic stop and have a drain life ability that does about 2 damage. Oh, I'm sorry, on heroic mode they do 4 damage. We make it back to the barrier and the guildmaster hits us with his schizo ramblings, which also happens to be the incantation.
You're alive? Yes, I was worried when you disappeared. Your sister. I know. I had to tie her up. Jack is controlling her somehow. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to stop him.
He's lying. He's the one working for Jack.
No, she's trying to confuse you. She's...
There is really no time for this, old wizard. Finish the ritual, Maze. I'd like my key now.
It's almost over, and it will be easier with the boy here.
What a surprise! Captain Gooner here has double-crossed us and joined Jagoff Blades. What a disappointment, man.
You can't win, boy. The world belongs to Jack now.
Time for the battle of the century. This dude has been belittling our progress and hoarding the world's stocks of XXX magazines to himself for all these years. No more. This fight is one of my favorites. Not in its gameplay, but in its premise and dialogue. Fittingly, Maze fights just how you would imagine he would, exclusively using will to fight us and teleporting to the other side of town when we shred him with just a single hit. just like the weasel he is. I will hand it to him though, he does slap me around for quite a bit on this staircase because I messed up the camera angle and thought I was literally dying in real life for a bit during this fight. You can actually notice here when I hit him while he's down, no damage is done. There seems to be a cap on the damage you can deal to him so that the fight is broken up into phases so he can show off his cowardice one last time.
I was wrong. Maybe you are strong enough to defeat Jack. You haven't got much time. He's using the key to activate the focus sites all over Albion. Then the sword will be his, and it'll be too late. They'll be trying to stop him. None of them can. Oh. You want to know why I did it, don't you? I suppose I'm just an old coward boy. We don't all embrace death easily. For some of us, the only quest, is to escape death. Whatever the cost. And it looks like I failed.
Can we keep it 100 and take a second to appreciate the delivery of this monologue? Straight up, this has to be the most effective and moving bit of dialogue the game has to offer. For the first time, you can actually attribute a character in this game a real characteristic of humanity. Although short-lived, Maze is the one character in this game that has a real and moving character arc. I know we've been ragging on him this entire video, but seriously, this is such a redeeming speech. Maze actually makes up for his past and earns himself the spot of the best character in the game in my book when it comes to character depth and writing. Rest in peace, Maze. You were definitely a suspect violin-loving gooner, but in the end, you were just a mortal man like the rest of us, struggling with the idea of mortality and trying to live your life. Now Jack is entering the next step to completing the acquisition of this fabled sword. I meet up with Briar to try to stop it from happening. You revisit several areas where the focus sites are held. The sky's a bright red color, and it's starting to look like Armageddon up in Albion in the most beautiful way. Not only that, but it's pure chaos with enemy and friendly forces alike being summoned to these areas to partake in what very may well be the final fight of their lives.
So Maze couldn't hold you. He wouldn't have seen the end of the day anyway. He had outlived his usefulness.
Well, there you go, Maze. You're gonna die anyway. We can at least feel better about you dying by my hands instead. Time to follow Jack through yet another chaotic scene in Greatwood.
Better go after him. I'm exhausted. I need to find somewhere to rest.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit?
Why am I not surprised that even when faced with the destruction of the world, Thunder is consistent with maintaining his low testosterone?
Are you ready to see the guild burn, hero?
Stop him!
Time to put this dude in the floor. I make my way back to the guild to a horrific scene. The place is ablaze, drawing us back to the night as a child when we lost everything we had ever known. This feels all too familiar, but just when I thought it couldn't get any worse...
There's nothing we could do. He has power like none I've ever seen. And he has your mother and sister too. If either of them dies, Evo help us all. Stop him, lad. For all our sakes, stop him.
Here we are yet again losing a father figure to evil, but this time we can actually do something about it. Me having absolute free will, I decide to dress up like the enemy. This is to maximize psychological warfare and also confuse Jack's dumb minions so they don't know who to attack. But enough talk. The time for retribution is upon our dear friend Jack here.
What a touching family reunion. The mother, the son, the daughter, and the sword. There's only one thing missing. It's your blood next. Then I will make this world burn.
Jack is defeated. And just like that, we are in possession of the very thing he has spent so long obsessing over, the Sword of Aeons. To keep this power, we would need to sacrifice the one surviving family member I have left. But I'm a family man. I could never do such a heinous act. Into the void you go, Sword of Aeons. We cut to our character 1 year following the battle with Jack, trying to enjoy some peace and quiet at our mother's grave. But of course, the good times don't last. We're being summoned for guild duties once again. I stop in to check on our quests and seems to be another side adventure that requires us. Wouldn't you guess it, it's Knothole Glade again. I head towards Knothole Glade and along the way stop to complete the archery minigame to earn a special trophy and the next treasure clue. The chief's neurodivergent son got captured by bandits while playing in the woods and it's somehow our problem. I make my way to him to discover his holding place is being guarded by 2 assassins. These guys have the nerve to threaten me after I had just saved the world and their existence in it? Really? Not gonna lie, I'm just so tired of fighting at this point. The hero deserves an easy quest, so I just pay the fine gentleman his ransom and make my merry way off with little Timmy here. But wait, it doesn't matter, because the area's littered with Balverines and shit anyway. They even sprinkle a white Balverine just for funsies too. I'm starting to wish I kept the ransom gold and used those thugs as a warm-up set. But eventually I make it back to the village, and I kinda sorta went in cahoots with the chief's other son. Hear me out. I think the chief has gone long enough without experiencing any pushback for his weak leadership. I hand the kid over to the brother and just listen to what this kid says.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut, you little squirt. I'm gonna show you what those bandits should have done.
Really? Cool. Is there gonna be swords?
There just might be. I wonder what I should do with your body. Bury it here? Nah. I think I'll just dump it in Witchwood Gorge.
Oh yes, the gorge please.
Yeah, that's an acoustic guitar if I've ever heard one. Next up on side tangents, we have a silver key chest in Hook Coast at the top of the lighthouse. There is one piece of side content in Hook Coast, being another pub game. Yay. Upon completion, we get the Maze Hero doll. Okay, why is the game pulling on my heartstrings so hard in the past little while here? Come on, man. I finally started to like the guy and put his death in the back of my mind and you're just gonna give me the voodoo doll of him? That's just sick. There's also the Twinblade related assassination attempt to contend with. And that's about it for side content in Hook Coast. I head back to Witchwood Cascade since another assassin spawns here as well. And yet another tries his luck at my throat in Knothole Glade. And another in Windmill Hill. And another at the prison path. This is the final assassin, and we are rewarded with the final treasure clue. But since we have all of them, let's see what all that trouble was about. Right after I steal an apple off the ground here, which happens to give us an achievement as well. Well, there you have it, folks. All this time and it was for a frying pan. You can tell some of the devs at LIONHEAD at the time were absolutely cooked. Another matter which requires our attention, the book collection quest. See, in the background of this playthrough, I've been rummaging through everyone's personal belongings to collect all the needed books to donate to the lackluster libraries of Bowerstone's public school. There's some pretty funny dialogue to be had in this endeavor, since some of the books are a little on the NSFS side of things. That is, not safe for school. But more important than that is the rewards. We get the achievement, of course, the Bright Will User's hat, and a silver key for getting all 25 books. Time to see what was so important the guildmaster had to call me on my day off about. This dude here is Scythe, and he basically lets us know there's a menacing threat on the horizon known as summoners. They're a new enemy type and have seemingly ended my retirement, and yet again, the world's problems are my problems. Behind the demon door are some prophet dudes, I guess, that have been trapped there the whole game? They hold the Fire Heart, which will activate the lighthouse in Hook Coast and grant us access to a ghost ship to get us to Northrend. I mean, the Northern Wastes.
For crying out loud, just tell him to get us out of here!
Finally, someone who understands I want to get this over with. We're tasked with freeing the Prophits, and in doing so, we'll be granted access to the Fire Heart. In order to free the Prophits, I must solve the mystery of day and night. You just flip the squares to the sunny side in the allotted time to free a Prophet.
What? I thought you said he'd get it even if he gets us all killed.
Oh yeah, and there's that part of the mystery too. That does indeed make this very interesting. Okay, the first couple guys I solved the puzzle in the way they like. The next guy isn't so lucky, which, upon review of the footage, I feel really bad about since he was the nicest out of all the Prophets.
You are wise and benevolent, hero. I say, you please reconsider your actions, hero.
I don't, however, feel bad about the next guy.
Well, that's it. Sun signs. Now get on with it. It's got to be sun signs, you idiot. Chop chop, you bastard. I'm a prophet, remember? A bloody prophet! Ah!
I beat up with my compadres outside the demon door to hear the news that 5 minutes of reading has revealed what these summoners are. I also get the news there's another Sword of Legend that is hidden somewhere inside the guild. It rivals the power of the Sword of Aeons, and it turns out that Maze was doing research of his own to claim it for himself. I would like to believe that it wasn't a matter of ill intent. Rather, it was to free himself of the burden of being an accomplice to the ultimate evil as Jack's lackey. Yeah, let's go with that. The sword is hidden here in the Memorial Graveyard. I'm judged worthy to wield it, and it does 130 more damage than the frying pan, so that's a dub, right? I head over to Bowerstone to farm some more card pairs to beef ourselves up for the new area. We're greeted by a guard who informs us they've evacuated the town in preparation of our arrival. I equip my new drip to take on this threat and make my way to place the Fireheart in the lighthouse.
Is the Fireheart in place? Good. Meet me downstairs.
Homegirl and I lock in to defend the lighthouse while the Fireheart gains power. You may notice I'm not using our shiny new bonk stick. I believe the frying pan needs some utilization, and you actually get an achievement for hitting an enemy with it as well. These are the summoners. They do this annoying charge-up ability as they prepare to throw a lightning ball at you, making them invulnerable to melee attacks. Outside of that, they're just slow-moving sponges that swing a sword occasionally and explode upon death. We clear out the town of enemies until the ship arrives. Anyone else think the water's a bit shallow to be harboring a full-size yacht like this? Just me? Seems to have been quite the long journey, since when I arrive, I'm outfitted with a beard that sticks out of the bottom of my helmet. Right off the shoreline, we do some more casual grave robbery to get the second to last silver key. We also make our first encounter with an ice troll. It's chill, no pun intended. Just another troll, but instead of rocks and mounds of dirt, he likes punching the ground and hurling rows of ice at us this time. Finally, we reach Snowspire Village, a town which is another casualty of Microsoft's rushed crunch time to make it devoid of side content. We meet Scythe here, and he explains to us that we must find some ancient glyphs to communicate with the omniscient rock statues. Their wisdom will aid in our quest to end whatever evil has befallen this land. Snowspire also happens to have a tavern, so you know what that means. More coin golf. Hey, it's alright though, because that's the final pub game and we're awarded with the final hero doll. The same teacher who needed us to collect books needs these dolls so the kids can have more toys to play with. It's either that, or he's a man-child who collects these things like plushies or Funko Pops. Either way, we fork them over and get the achievement and Jack Hero doll. Back in the north, we meet up with some guards to show us the way to the necropolis. This is the area where we can find those glyphs via some more grave robbing. There's also the final silver key in this pool. That's another achievement down, and we can finally open the 30 silver key chest. We go around the whole region, digging up the glyphs and fighting off snowy reskins of the same enemies we've seen the entire game. We get the final glyph and are ready to move forward unto victory. I head over to the shoreline to hit up our final silver key chest in the game. Look at this chest, which requires a maximum quantity of keys possibly contain. A pretty cool looking sword that does less damage than the one I'm currently using. Okay, it is the Avenger though, and it did include all the Infinity Stones, so maybe it's just a matter of augmenting them, and then I can literally nuke the earth by just dropping my sword into the ground. The final chest didn't harbor an achievement for opening, but it did mark the point where we can open the last demon door. This door wants all of our silver keys, and there are no takebacks. Not to worry though, since there's no chests left to open. I do so gladly with no hesitation and get yet another sword that I'll never use, but do enjoy adding to our massive collection. The demon door in Snowspire normally should have been the final one. Unfortunately, something went wrong with the save files and I lost progress from way earlier when I unlocked the Knothole Glade demon door. I head that way to knock it off the list and collect our achievement. Next achievement on the list is I did this for a Chivo, wherein you perform a headshot with a crossbow whilst dressed as a woman wearing a beard and the redhead wig. Say hello to the LGBT XYZ, bitch!
You made your point, you're the boss. He lost his head.
The next achievement on the list is the Summoner's Tale. For this one, you have to upgrade a summon to an elite level enemy by allowing them the killing blow to take on their form. I opt to head to Witchwood to get it done on an elite bandit mob and scratch that one off the list. The next achievement is called Ass Creed, where you literally dress as an assassin and yourself. By far the best achievement in the game. I decided to celebrate this one with Dylan as a final hurrah token of our friendship.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Next up is to max out our melee stats and pull the sword from the stone. Normally I don't level my melee up all the way since I don't like my character looking like a meatloaf, but this is actually important. I head to the site to impress these losers with my main character's strength and make this sword and the stone business look like child's play. But not before I show them my power firsthand before taking a stab at it. And with that, we have another useless sword, but a very useful achievement. The final missing achievement requires us to get the Turncoat spell. This spell mind controls the target and has them join forces with you. As soon as they get a kill on one of their allies, you get the achievement, There Is No Spoon. With all that complete, it's time to head back to Snowspire and see what Scythe and I can figure about the ominous structure outside the town. The beings of knowledge inform us that Jack has once again cheated death and taken on a new form. We can't do anything to help just yet since Jack is concealing this new identity behind the Bronze Gate. We must use Jack's mask to collect specific souls that are needed to open the gate and end this goon's reign of terror.
Everything indicates that Jack's new form will emerge from behind the Bronze Gate, and this structure is the key to opening it. But it looks like it'll take the souls of 3 heroes to activate the mechanism. These things are never simple, are they? It doesn't want just any heroes either. The first instruction calls for the King of the Arena, no less. I suppose you could chop your own head off, but then there'd be no one for me to order around, would there? Why don't you pay Thunder a visit? He knows the arena inside and out.
Oh, trust me, my dear Briar. We will certainly pay Thunder a visit.
Now look, I won't tell you again. We don't need a hero. For the first time in years, we aren't being attacked, sieged, or kidnapped by anything. Now leave us alone!
Looks like Thunder's still down on his luck and has resorted to begging. Little does he know that things are about to get much worse for him. Just as I suspected, Thunder is pissing himself knowing dang well I'm not walking all the way to the arena just to snatch up some spirit from their place of purgatory. And to confirm this, Jack chimes in to start spitting some facts our way.
Why go all the way to the arena? You have a perfectly good soul right in front of you.
We basically bully him till he's dead, not really allowing him the dignity to fight back as he would have gladly done to us if he had the chance to. First soul down. I meet up with Briar to dump Thunder's soul, and she informs me of the next soul needed.
We figured out the second inscription. It says, the heroine.
I could take Briar's soul since she fits the description, but Briar is actually lit, and I'm pretty sure with everything our mom has been through, her soul is anything but resting in peace. Half of her life was spent in captivity to Jack. If there's anything that would put her to rest, it would be to contribute one last time to take Jack down for good. If I could have picked a third option, I would have just opted to take Whisper's soul and taken that trip to the arena after all. I head on over to the Oakvale Graveyard where there are more DUIs causing a scene. I kill them all, and Mother's spirit is summoned where she confirms that she's more than willing and glad to help put a stop to Jack with her soul.
But I sense how he fears you. Take my soul and avenge our family once and for all.
Back at Archon's shrine, we contribute our mother's soul and are revealed the last soul to collect.
I'm sure your mother would be proud. Now, there's just one inscription left. The oldest soul.
Jack chimes in to gleefully declare the identity of the soul to be the Guildmaster. But I mean, come on. He's not even that old. If I had to guess, he's probably in his 60s, and there's no way that beats the number of birthdays that old bag Scythe has seen. We put our hopes in the scholars at the guild to figure out a better option than the Guildmaster. Upon arrival at the guild, it's pure chaos.
Welcome back, sir. This place has been a mess since you left. People running around with bits of old paper, books flying everywhere. And the Guildmaster's only gone and holed himself up in the guild woods. We're not supposed to let anyone near him.
We found it! The soul mentioned in the inscription. It must be Nostro.
First of all, the lack of confidence the Guildmaster has in me to the point where he has barricaded himself in the guild woods is astonishing. Of course Nostro is the oldest soul. He is the founder of the Heroes Guild and the first to bear the title of hero.
Guildsmen, we meet once more. You reclaimed my weapons and armor and brought me peace. Now, I offer my soul in return. But I am Nostro, and mine is a warrior's soul. You must take it in battle so that I may stand proud among my comrades in the afterlife. Now, claim my soul with honor.
Now that is a Chad right there. Not only is he willing to make the sacrifice, but he will only do so as he falls to us in battle. Now we finally have all the souls. I head back to the shrine to make this sacrifice.
The inscriptions say only one hero will be allowed to pass through the gate, and, hey, guess what? You're the strongest.
I guess the guildmaster got the memo that my work is done because he's no slouch in chiming in on the guild seal and letting us know about a new quest card.
You've received a new quest card.
Even in times of uncertainty, this man's attitude never changes. I wear my chicken mask to show off a final form of my own and step through the faded bronze gate.
Ah, here you are. It's been a long wait, but I knew you'd free me eventually. Yes, always the puppet. Don't you ever get tired of having your strings pulled? I am no mortal man. The gods and demons you fear and worship are as nothing to me.
Well, it turns out the final form is a dragon. I was getting a little worried there for a second that my medieval fantasy game wasn't going to have a dragon after all. I will say here, you can certainly feel the buff to his health and damage. Look how much damage a single chomp out of my side does. Still though, I continue whacking until he ascends and takes flight. That's basically all this fight can be deduced to. Slapboxing each other, waiting for Jack to fly around a bit, rinse and repeat. Well, I've learned my lesson, and when he comes back around, I draw Squirm's bow and shoot him instead, because I'm not about to die. Not here. You can tell he's scared now because he's starting to summon minions to try to save him. Hate to break it to you, pal, but the video's almost over, and so are you.
Magic missile! Magic missile! Magic missile! Magic missile!
Nope, he just wants to bombard me with more enemies and blue ball victory for just a wee bit longer. Here we go. One final strike and...
Destroy the mask. Whatever you do, you must not wear it.
Wear me. And gods will envy your power.
Jack's mask tries to speak to me in Foil or Triumph one last time, but I know better than that at this point. I cast the mask into the lava just as we did the sword, and its darkness is lost forever. Well, folks, that's the game. Here's my Steam achievements, and you can see we had a perfect game with 100% achievements unlocked. We completed all the side content, collected every legendary weapon, married as many women as we pleased, opened every demon door, unlocked every chest. That's it. It's finally over. Fable was a part of my childhood and thus a part of who I am. This game went through many iterations and was going to be many things before it came out as the Fable we know of today. It isn't a perfect game by any means, it has many flaws, but I love this game's flaws and imperfections. I think the gaming landscape would be truly missing something great if this game never came to be. Its simplicity in gameplay and simple story and design was a perfect baby's first RPG. If this video did pique your interest to play Fable again, or maybe even for the first time, I recommend the Lost Chapters version over Anniversary 100 times over, especially if this is your first time. I couldn't be more proud than to finally leave my mark on this series. This is the first large production I've ever created, and I really enjoyed doing it. If you subscribe to the channel, I have more ideas for the future to make more videos like this one. And please leave a comment down below about what you think of this video, or maybe even some Fable memories of your own. If you did make it this far, you're actually goated, and I do appreciate you watching to the end. For now, be easy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.